Okay, guys, just realized that when I went over the course syllabus in the website, uh, I did this individually since y'all are coming at different times. So what I thought I needed to do was go ahead and record basically our course information lecture that I go through with all my classes. And basically, we're going to come up here, or what I'm going to come up do and make sure I fully explain the Blackboard site for the robot projects class. So robot projects is predominantly a lab class, which you're going to find out. This is the homepage for the Blackboard site for the robot projects class. We start off with our homepage. Of course, if we click on this, this is the page we'll come back to. Announcements, these are where the announcements are posted. Every time I post an announcement about the class, I will send it out by email. Unlike the other classes that I normally teach, what I have is every time I teach a class, I have about 30 or 40 students in all my classes at any one time. And what this basically means is I've been going out here and signing everybody up for the texting application, which we call Remind. And sometimes I make mistakes. With that many students, I make mistakes, and then students don't get the text messages, which are very, very important in my classes because I know, or it's been proven, that people check their email about 30% of the time, but they check text messages no matter where they're at. They check those well over 90% of the time. So what we're doing a little different, or what I'm doing a little different this semester, and this is the way I'm going to do it from now on, is I'm going to have you, if you want to get text messages from me relative to this class, then it's your responsibility to sign up for it. To do that, right here, text message, sign up, and then you just follow the instructions on this link right here. And this will tell you basically how you can log on, what you can do, the code that you enter in to actually sign up for this class. Okay, so this is what you would do right here. And then once you sign up from the Remind application, then I'll be able to send you a class. If you don't want to get text message from me, don't sign up for the class. But if you don't check your email and you don't check your announcements, then I am not responsible for you failing the class. And that's very simple. So what I usually do, anytime I post something, I send it out by email, and then I'll also come up and I'll send out a reminder. It might say check your email or something like that. And this is the way you can also text me back using the number that pops up, and you'll see that. I'll try to do this in class. Text y'all while you are in class, so we can make sure that we get this. If you sign up, then we'll verify that you can text me back and give me stuff like that and say, Rich, I'm having problems with my email or stuff like that, and then we'll figure out what we can do about that. But if you don't sign up for the texting application, then don't complain to me that you didn't know we were supposed to be doing this, and you didn't know what we're supposed to be because you didn't know we're supposed to be doing that, because this is going to be on you and not on me. Okay. First week courses information. Both of you have taken my classes before. This is the official course syllabus. This is where you'll go to take the required first week quizzes, and I need to go and see who has actually done that. And this is very discouraging when you've had students that's been in your classes before and they know the requirements for the class, and they still don't go out and do the course, the syllabus agreements. They still don't go out and do the first week quizzes, and then they end up with 0 on the first assignment. So this is due by, in fact, it is past due. It was due last night by 11:59 p.m. So what that means is if you didn't do it, then you're on the countdown. So if you complete it on Saturday, then you'll get, and you do everything, then you'll only get 40% of, instead of getting 100%, you'll get 90%, or basically, I'm sorry, you'll get 80% of what you were required. These are 50% apiece, 50 points apiece. So on a scale of 0 to 100, that means every day is going to cost you 20%, because if you don't get it in the first day, then the next day you'll get if you do everything, you'll get 40 points. If the next day, you'll get 30 points, and vice versa. So if you do it on the third day and you do everything, then you'll only get 60% of the grade. Here's our syllabus and our syllabus brief. Those are considered to be the same thing. We'll go ahead and look at that and bring up the course syllabus. So I should have gave you this course syllabus the first class. If I didn't, then you need to make sure I did it, but I'm almost sure I did it for this class. On this gives you, of course, the name of the class. It gives you, and it also says you're required to read the actual official course syllabus that is located on Blackboard. The prerequisites to the class is you should have had robot operation and programming, which both of you have. The class runs from March 6th to May the 4th. It meets on Monday, Wednesday. I think that has changed, though. I think it's Tuesday, Thursday. So let me go ahead and what happened is that, you know, the way that we're doing the class, both of y'all actually come at different times. So I'll go back and correct this. But the class meets from on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Then this is the required textbook. All you have to do is this is available on Blackboard. This is the same document that you used in operation and programming. You need to have your safety glasses with side shields. So if I come over there and catch you around the robot and you don't have your safety glasses, I'm going to knock off, because this is the second time, and you understand that safety is the main thing that we're supposed to be teaching in these classes. You need to have your 6-foot measuring tape, and I'll probably check this next week, which will be the week of the 12th, and see if you've got your required supplies. First week quizzes, we've already talked about that. Blackboard, if you don't use Blackboard, you're going to have a big problem with the class, because there's several assignments for this class. Since this is predominantly a lab class and you have very, very few lectures, then we have quite a few assignments that you have to go out and do. Syllabus agreement, you understand that. Syllabus quiz is required. Syllabus agreement is due by the second class. I need to go back and check to see if anybody's done that. Safety and evacuation quiz, and then dress code. This is the syllabus brief. The actual course syllabus for the class, and you're required to read this, but let's go over some brief points. This gives you anything that's on the brief. We don't repeat that on the syllabus, and that way we only have to update one document every semester. We update the brief, but we normally don't upgrade the syllabus unless the college requires us to do something. And there's several new sections or revised sections in this syllabus that we just added. Okay, so the textbook that's required, we've already talked about that. Blackboard, the course policy. These are the things that we're going to be doing this semester. This is the scale, and this is what we're talking about. This is predominantly a lab class, so your labs are 50% of your grade. I'll try to post something on Blackboard that gives you the list of labs, so you'll understand where you're at and how many labs you're doing. So basically, right now you should be through with the first lab, which requires you to go out and jog all the robots. If you're not through with the first lab, then what that means is you're already behind in the class. Assignments, there's quite a few assignments in this class. I think there's at least 6 assignments, and it's only a 8-week term. And so that basically means we almost have an assignment that's due every week. The only 2 tests that we give in this class is we give the midterm and the final. And we give no makeups, and we don't drop any tests in this class because we only give 2. So if you miss out on the midterm or the final, that's going to really give you a problem. This talks about the first week assignments, and we've already talked about this. This talks about the lab. I'll give you out the labs. There'll be an instructor-provided lab manual, and they're due the next class meeting after the last instructor sign-off. And then, of course, with this, you're going to, and I'll need to give you out a lab procedure too. I'll do that at the next meeting. That tells you exactly what I expect of you and what you're going to be grading on. This states that this is the same. It means you have to make at least a C to pass the course. Recorded lectures. We have very few lectures that we're going to record. in this class, but there's going to be some lectures that are pre-recorded that you are required to watch. The first one are our safety lectures. Not only do you have a safety lecture, but you also have a safety quiz that you have to take, verifying that you've watched these lectures. Also, the PowerPoints are up there on these. Attendance, withdrawals. This is a problem I always have with my class. Most of the time, it's just about every semester, except T1, but the semester's not over yet. What we do is normally I get a student that just stops coming to class. And they think just because they stop coming that is withdrawing from the class, and it's not. So to officially withdraw from the class, then you have to complete the e-withdrawal process, which means it's on the college's Blackboard site. The college's website, www.lawsonstate.edu. And then you can go into the current student or the quick links and should be able to find e-withdrawal. Lateness to class, if you're late, classes are going to start at exactly the scheduled time. Okay, you need to arrive. You're expected to arrive and prepare yourself before the class period starts. So that means if the class starts at 8 and you walk in at 8, technically you are tardy. Plagiarism, using other people's work and taking credit for it, cheating, we know what that is. Professional decorum, so this right here is totally new. And this is what the college expects out of you. They don't want you to be texting or unauthorized use of the internet while you're in class. They don't want you to be sleeping or reclining. This means laying your head on the desk and stuff like that. Speaking out of turn, unnecessary traffic, eating or drinking in the classroom, which is not allowed. Wearing inappropriate clothing, sunglasses, hats, and earphones. Basically, in our lab, the dress is very simple. We don't allow you to wear sleeveless shirts. We don't allow you to wear short pants. We don't allow you to wear open-toe shoes while you're in this lab. This is a lab environment, and we don't allow that. And of course, the dress code policy is posted. That's one of the things you're supposed to read. This is course concerns, and this is a thing that the college is having problems with also, where students don't know what procedure to follow if they have a concern about the class that they are taking during a semester. So what you're supposed to do first, if you've got a concern with your course, then the first thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to speak to the instructor directly, and then see if you can resolve the matter with that instructor. If the matter is not resolved successfully, then the next thing you're supposed to do is make an appointment with and then talk to the department chair. Of course, the department chair is Nancy Wilson. You can send an email to her at nwilson@lawsonstate.edu. Her phone number is area code 205-929-3451. That's her contact information. It'll probably be easier to get in touch with her with email than trying to call her. Third, if the department chair does not resolve the matter successfully, you need to speak. If you speak to the faculty member and the department chair and your concerns are not fully addressed to your satisfaction, then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to file a formal concern complaint via the formal complaint process in writing. To do this, you can go to the student portal or quick links. So that student portal will be your student suite. You could also go, current student on the Lawson State's website, or the quick links, and then you can locate the concern and complaint link. And this gives you the ability to submit that, and this goes to the higher ups at the college. And then what this does is then they will appoint a committee and all this other kind of stuff to see if we can take care of your complaint. American Disability Acts, I have problems with this every once in a while, not often. But if you have a disability and the college needs to make arrangements so you can successfully excel or complete the course, then this has to be a documented disability, which means you have to document this with the office of the ADA, the American Disability Act, or the ADA office at Lawson State. This gives you the contact information. So on the Bessemer campus, it's Dr. Renee Herndon, and then on the Birmingham campus, it is Mrs. Janie McCoy Jones, and this gives you her contact information. Cellular and pagers is pretty obvious. You need to silence your cellular or pagers. We don't know many people that has pagers anymore, but just about everybody has a cell phone. Acceptable use basically is that the use of the equipment that belongs to Lawson State. This stuff does not belong to you. You don't install applications or any type of thing on the computers in the college. Statement of discrimination or harassment, we don't allow that here. Children on campus, no children allowed. And then the course calendar will be posted on Blackboard. This talks about if you decide if you're late or tardy, you need to come in. You're supposed to read this, but just some highlights. If you're late or tardy, you're supposed to inform the instructor if you come in late or if you leave early. And also, I don't allow profanity in my classroom. So that's basically a quick review of the course syllabus. And if you've got any questions related to this, you need to send them to me by email. If it's something, and I will change the syllabus brief, because on the syllabus brief it says Monday and Wednesday, which is when we first thought we was going to teach the course, and then we decided to put it on top of cable splicing and installation, which moved it to a Tuesday, Thursday class. So what else we have on the Blackboard site? Of course, this is where our course content as assignments, the course calendar. Okay. And I didn't go over the dress code because you're required to read that. That will be inside the first week course and first week assignments and course information. So this is our course calendar. First class, these are your assignments. This will be assignment 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so forth. And you can tell we have an assignment almost every week. The spring break is from March the 26th to March the 30th. Then our midterm is going to be right here. So on April the 3rd, this will be the midterm exam that we'll give. It'll be online. It'll be in class through Blackboard. Okay. And then we move on. The midterm here, honors and awards. So if you're receiving an honors and award, this will be the day that we'll meet. That meets. And then the only week we don't have assignment is this week right here, and this is before the actual final assignment. This is when the final exam will be given. It's going to be given on March the 1st. These are the actual assignments. Assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, assignment 4, assignment 5, assignment 6, and then our last assignment, which is the course survey. Assignment 6, I need to, let me explain a little about this. Every year the college has a job and health fair. And what we attempt to do, of course, is get as many students to go as possible. And it's usually in the spring, but I haven't heard any announcements. So if they have if they have the job and health fair, they usually have it at the Bessemer Civic Center, but I can't actually say that. What they'll do is we'll make this assignment available, and that'll be an additional assignment. And all you have to do is just obtain 5 different business cards from these the different presenters at the job health fair, and then you just show me those, and then you'll get credit for that assignment. Just proof that you went to that. So that's the assignments, and like I said, you need to read these. I'm not going to go over them. This is your responsibility. Course content, this is where we're going to talk about text messaging again, required textbook, lecture slides, but just about all these lecture slides are yours. Okay. And of course, these are the 3 basically slide presentations that you're responsible to go out there and look at. Okay. This is where our robot manuals are at. So all the robots that you'll be dealing, this is where you can come real easily and look at the soft version of the manuals that we have. So while you do your lab, of course, we talked about this. What we're going to do in this lab is we're going to move you between robots. The only robot that you're not going to program is the Big Fanic, the 430. But so every lab you're going to move to another robot. And what's this? The purpose of this is to try to get you a feel of how similar these robots are, and then also would give you a little confidence in knowing no matter where you go to, no matter what robots they have, they're all very similar. Then you would have no problem in picking up one of these other robots. Recorded lectures, these are where the recorded lectures at. So these are the two required viewing, and in the course information, once I upload that, I'll put this up at the top. My grades, of course, this is where you'll go and check your progress during the course. These are our test study guides. They should already be available. I mean, I'll go ahead and make the midterm study guide available right now. The final exam is not going to be a compilation of the other tests that we have. Of course, what we have on the midterm will be on the final exam, but the final exam will be whatever we do between the midterm and the final. So that's one thing that's not similar to the other classes that I teach, in that the final exam on most of my classes is just a review of the whole course. So there definitely will be new material on the final exam. And after you take the midterm, what I'll do is I'll make the review for the final exam. I'll go ahead and make the review for the final exam available, so you can start and have plenty of time to study for that. Previous tests, once we get the midterm, once you take the midterm, we'll make this available so you can go out. So right now, this is not available. What I need to do is turn this off. So once you take the midterm, we'll make that available so you can go back and study the midterm to get you ready for that section of the test that will be on the final exam. This is where we'll go and actually take the test. This is where you go if you need to send me information relative to the class. Don't send it from some oddball email address. This is where I want you to send it from right here. So you just hit email instructor, and then it'll come up and allow you to give it a subject, and then you just type what you need. Also, if you need to attach something to this, you can also attach a file to this and send it to me. You can also email the other classmates, your other class members, and this is where we go to help for the Blackboard application. That's basically it for the Blackboard site. We looked at the course syllabus, we looked at the brief, we looked at the layout of the text, the site. We went over I went over the course calendar, the first week quizzes. I looked at the assignments. So this is basically the course information lecture. I'll go ahead and upload this to Blackboard, so y'all can go out, or the both of y'all can go out and listen to this also.